So let's get right into it. Have you ever stopped to think about how some of the most flattering things you hear, the compliments that make you feel truly seen, can actually be a form of manipulation? Well, today we're going to pull back that curtain and look at the psychology of those sweet little lies.
And that right there is the whole point. The most effective deceptions, the really dangerous ones, they don't come at you with aggression. No, they're wrapped up in words you want to hear, making them so hard to spot until the damage is already done.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you separate what's genuine from what's a strategy? That's what this whole explainer is about. And by the time we're done, you're going to have a much clearer idea of how to tell the difference. All right, let's get practical. We're about to break down 5 super common phrases. I mean, you've definitely heard these before. On the surface, they sound great. But underneath, well, that's where the manipulation lies.
This one. This one feels so good to hear, right? It goes straight to our core desire to be special, to be the one. It feels like you've just been picked out of a crowd, like you've won a competition you didn't even know you were in.
So what's actually going on in your brain here? When you hear you're different, boom, you get a little hit of dopamine. It's a reward. It makes you feel good, makes you feel superior. And in that moment, while your ego is getting a nice little massage, your critical thinking just kind of goes offline. It makes you way more likely to miss some serious red flags or say yes to whatever they ask for next.
Okay, moving on to number 2. I just need a little help right now. This line is a masterclass in framing. It makes a problem sound small, temporary, no big deal, and it's designed to appeal directly to that instinct most of us have to be a hero, a protector. It sounds so simple.
You gotta listen to the magic words here. Little and right now. Little makes the request seem so tiny that you'd feel like a jerk for saying no. And right now creates this fake urgency. But here's the thing. The goal usually isn't just to get help this one time. It's a test. It's to see if they can set up a pattern where you become their go-to problem solver.
All right, lie number 3. This one is a real head-turner. You deserve better than me. It sounds so humble, so self-aware. It's like they're putting you first, admitting their flaws. It's totally disarming.
I mean, this is just a brilliant, devious move. Think about it. First, it makes them look honest, so you can't really get mad. Second, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for the future. Anytime they mess up later, they can just say, "See, I told you I was no good." And the craziest part, it often makes you jump in and defend them, saying, "No, you're great." You end up arguing against your own best interests.
Okay, now we're getting into one of the absolute classics. I'm not ready for anything serious right now. Wow, that sounds so mature and responsible, doesn't it? You think, okay, I'll respect their boundaries. But what's really happening is they're setting up a relationship where they get all the benefits and you get, well, not much.
This is a textbook example of something called monkey branching. They're holding on to you, one branch, while they scan the forest for a better, sturdier branch to swing to. They're not ready to commit to you, but they're perfectly ready to take your time, your emotional support, your energy. It's never about timing. It's always about keeping their options open. And for our last one, it's not so much a single phrase. It's more of a whole pattern. Let's call it the convenience factor. This is all about when they're available and, more importantly, when they're not.
Ever notice this? Someone is just so busy for weeks, can't possibly see you, but the second their car breaks down, or they need help moving, or they just had a terrible day, poof, suddenly their schedule opens right up. That's not a coincidence. You're not getting their time, you're getting their problems. It's a kind of emotional vampirism, honestly, where you just feel drained every single time.
Okay, so we've looked at the individual puzzle pieces. But the real power here, the real insight, comes when you step back and see how these pieces fit together to form a clear, predictable system.
So think of this as your pattern recognition toolkit. First, there's the compliment request combo. They butter you up, then they ask for something. Second, the crisis disappearance cycle. They show up with an emergency, and as soon as it's solved, they vanish. Third, the timeline trick. Everything's just for now, but now never ends. And finally, the future promise. Talking about a great future together that always stays just out of reach.
So you've spotted the pattern. Now what? Do you call them out? Do you have a big fight? Nope. The most powerful response isn't about confrontation at all. It's about a huge internal shift, inspired by stoic philosophy. It's about reclaiming your power quietly. And this quote from Marcus Aurelius just hits the nail on the head. Look, you can't control what they say or do. You can't stop the sweet lies. But you absolutely can control how you interpret them and how you respond. That's where your real strength is.
So here's your game plan, your way to take back control. It starts simple. Watch what they do, not what they say. Actions tell the real story. Then detach, and this is key. Do it without a big, angry blow-up. The drama just feeds the cycle. You just quietly start pulling back your investment of time and energy. You stop being their 24/7 emergency contact. This isn't about being cruel, it's about valuing yourself. It's about taking all that amazing energy you have and putting it into relationships that actually give back.
Now, before we wrap this up, let's just add one more layer of thought here. We've been talking about all this as manipulation, but what if there's another way to see it?
This quote, man, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are these people sitting in a dark room, twirling their mustaches and plotting their manipulative schemes? Or is something else going on entirely?
And that's the question I want to leave you with. Is this always a cold, calculated plan to deceive someone? Or sometimes, could it be a flawed, almost primal survival instinct kicking in? A broken way of trying to get needs met? The answer is probably different for every person, but just thinking about that difference, that's how you move on with wisdom instead of bitterness.